Local residents have been frightened by news a killer might be loose in their neighborhood. Police found definite evidence of violence and foul play.
I couldn't sleep because I just knew that something was wrong.
We went down the basement. The first thing that we noticed was blood at the top of the stairs. That's when the body was located.
I got the sickest feeling in my stomach. I thought I was going to pass out.
Many people were scared.
You at any moment, making it a race.
Shortly after 8 a.m., we received a dispatch of a missing person. I was only about 4 blocks away from the house where I was dispatched to meet with Miss Neely. Upon my arrival, she explained that she had not heard from or seen her daughter, Tiffany, since the previous day. All calls to her cell phone were going unanswered.
Tiffany's mom was very anxious because this was just so not normal.
We learned Tiffany Brown was a 26-year-old mother who was attending the Ohio Beauty Academy, and this was extremely out of character for Tiffany. She was in communication with her friends, her family on a daily basis.
She also said the children of her daughter were left in the care of a neighbor the day before, and they had not been picked up. We learned she had young boys at home that she cared about, that she would not just leave alone without reason or without explanation. And that fact alone led me to believe that we had more here than just somebody that was going out for a good time on a Friday night. Tiffany's car was found at a apartment complex about 4 or 5 blocks from Miss Neely's home. The vehicle was unlocked, the keys were present. There's no indication of a struggle or anything of a violent nature within the automobile. We could not find any connection to that complex and her. It was very suspicious, and we were growing concerned. So that sinking feeling got deeper and deeper.
Tiffany was a devoted daughter and a mom. She had 2 young ones. She worked hard. She worked part-time, was going to school full-time. She just wanted to make a better life for her kids.
She loved taking the kids, going to the zoo and the water parks and the beach. It didn't matter. She was always wanting to do something.
She loved cars. She was right in there with me and clean her car, wash her car, show her how to take care of her car.
We would play this game where you could listen and tell what kind of car was coming down the street by the motor. And Tiffany was getting real good at that. She would light up a room, that's for sure. She got along with everybody. I didn't sleep all night. I couldn't sleep because I just knew that something was wrong.
The text messages that we received indicated that Sam Littleton was the last individual to speak with her. We learned Sam Littleton was Tiffany's mother, Deb Neely's boyfriend. They'd been together for 15 years, and Tiffany, of course, always knew Sam. So there was a parental relationship there with him. Sam had a conversation with her about noon on Friday the 11th, the day Tiffany went missing.
In this text conversation, he requested to meet with her. At that point, they really wanted to talk to Sam Littleton.
We had tried numerous times to get in contact with him, and he wouldn't return any calls. We couldn't locate Sam anywhere. This raised a lot of red flags. We asked her about how Sam was interacting with her during the past couple days.
Deb Neely was becoming concerned about Sam's behavior.
Deb indicated to us that he acted strange. She told us that he also had a cut on his hand. Sam told Deb that he had cut it while working on the fireplace upstairs, although Deb didn't see anything that had been changed in the fireplace.
At that point, there's a lot of red flags going off in her mind.
They had asked Deb if they could take a look around the house.
Detective Salyer and I went down the basement and took a look around. And the first thing that we noticed, actually on the landing above the stairs, was a drop of blood on a floor mat at the top of the stairs. Then we found numerous areas of blood spatter. When we continued our search of the basement, there was an area of the basement that was covered in debris. We started taking everything apart down there. That's when Tiffany's body was located. The body was partially clothed and wrapped in a large piece of carpeting. The apparent cause of death seemed to be a knife wound to the neck. There was multiple stab wounds and other indications of maybe asphyxiation.
When they found her, I got the sickest feeling in my stomach. I thought I was going to pass out. He said he looked at that wood, and he said he saw her hair. And he said then he looked again and he saw her hand.
At this point, it was pretty clear to us that Deb had no involvement.
Sam Littleton became a prime suspect. He's hiding key information from investigators, and now he's missing.
Richard and Gladys Russell were an elderly couple that lived just outside the city of Bellefontaine. One of the neighbors had gone to the Russells' house and noticed that their vehicle was missing from the garage. They'd been missing for maybe about 12 hours when they contacted law enforcement. We learned Mr. Russell did have some health issues. It was unusual for them to be gone for any length of time. The Logan County Sheriff's Office responded to the Russells' residence. There was no signs of a struggle in the main area of the house. They continued the investigation, and they were able to find a notepad. Mrs. Russell was very good at taking notes and keeping records, but there was no other entries made after the 16th. Now, prior to that, there were entries made every morning at approximately the same time where she was taking his blood pressure and caring for Mr. Russell. When they took a look in the garage, there was some blood found at the trunk area of where the car would have been parked. At that point, we're extremely concerned for the safety of the Russells.
Richard and Gladys were married in 1950. They had been together for 61 years and by all accounts were inseparable. They were relentlessly hardworking. Dick was a carpenter. Gladys was a bookkeeper. Each day when they would finish working 8-hour shifts at their different jobs, they would come home and tend to the farm during farming season. They were pillars in the community, heavily active in community groups and civic organizations. The Bellefontaine Lions Club, the Logan County Fish and Game Club, just, to name a few. They were incredible, well-rounded, generous people. And everybody that was familiar with them loved them, and they loved everybody back without condition.
Looking into the notepad, we found it had the name Sam written on it, and underneath the name Sam was Sam Littleton's cell phone number.
While digging into Sam's background, they found out that Sam had actually purchased his home in Bellefontaine from the Russells and had, on occasion from time to time, helped out with a few chores at their property.
Now that we know that there's a connection, we're extremely concerned. We believe that he's probably in their vehicle and might have the Russells with him. And also, he could be armed and dangerous, and we didn't know the extent of how far he would go.
The case blew up exponentially once they were unaccounted for. You had multiple law enforcement agencies looking for the elderly couple's vehicle as well as Mr. Littleton.
37-year-old Samuel Littleton is wanted for the murder of 26-year-old Tiffany Brown of Bellefontaine, Ohio, and linked to the disappearance of an elderly couple, Richard and Gladys Russell. A desperate plea from the family of a murder suspect.
We need you to come in. Just turn yourself in.
The suspect's father is clearly overwhelmed with emotion.
There was some nervousness. Many people were scared in the community. There was a killer on the loose. The Russell vehicle was found in the parking lot of the local store. They didn't see Sam Littleton, they didn't see the Russells. No sign except for some blood in the trunk.
So we obtained video information from the store on it. We see Sam Littleton. It showed he had purchased some camping gear and those types of items, which would indicate that somebody may be living in the mountains. At the same time, information was relayed to us that a lineman had seen an individual living in the mountains that wasn't normally there. So West Virginia State Police went on a mission to locate this individual.
They began searching the area not too far from the store where the car was parked. They found Sam Littleton. He suddenly fled from them.
As we continued our search, we found he had built a makeshift cave.
Basically a primitive camp where he had been hiding out.
There was a tarp, a sleeping bag, an axe, and some very minimal food items. After maybe an hour, Sam Littleton was apprehended by a West Virginia State Police canine. He was subsequently arrested by state police.
The fugitive had been on the run since February the 18th. Littleton was taken to a local hospital before being transported to the state police barracks in Princeton.
Sam had been on the run for over a week now. He was in a hospital gown. He had injuries from the canine, and his demeanor was just beat down. Our objective was to get as much information from Sam as we could about what happened to Tiffany. And then, of course, we also wanted to be able to locate the Russells as well. It's very important to set the tone in the first few minutes of the interview. We want Sam to talk to us. And the only way to get somebody to talk to us a lot of times is we have to be nice, even though we may not want to be nice to this individual.
Go on and have a seat. Sam, I'm going to take these cuffs off. What do you think, Sam? Scared yourself there? Somebody just shoot me.
The man wanted for the murder of a 26-year-old mother from Bellefontaine, Ohio, was found hiding in the woods, apparently not far from where he ditched a car, stolen from an elderly couple who are still missing.
Shortly after they found Tiff, we had a prayer vigil and everybody was there. As the funeral was going on, everybody's phones started blowing up.
You could hear the people's phones going off, and they'd say, you know, we got him, we got him. It was like kind of a rejoicing when he got caught.
When Sam got arrested, there was no signs of the Russells, so we didn't know if the Russells were dead. We needed to expedite as much information as we can from Sam and hopefully locate the Russells.
Sam, obviously, we've got a million questions for you. And we realized through this investigation, things went really wrong at some point. We just ask that you help us out, help yourself.
What part is easier for you to talk about? Can you tell me what happened with Tiffany, or would you rather talk about Mr. and Mrs. Russell?
I really don't know how that started. I think evil thoughts all the time.
Evil thoughts all the time?
All the time. I mean, that's why I keep myself away from people.
Okay.
I mean, there ain't 1 minute that I don't stay here thinking about how to snap somebody's neck, crush their head. I mean, there's many, many times I could have just cut my stepmom up. Why would people think of that? Like right now, they're still in there. They're still in there. I've done a lot of bad things in my life. A lot of bad things. Well, if you're from Bell Fountain, you know my history. I ain't got...
To be honest, that's what's kind of confusing. I mean, you've got a couple things, well, what I would consider very minor, with some marijuana, things like that, but you've done a pretty good job of being able to control things. You know what I mean? I mean, it really, I've definitely seen a lot worse in history.
You've seen that people have thoughts like this?
Than what you have. I've heard of people telling me this before, that they've had thoughts, but I don't have any, I'll be honest, I don't have any knowledge of what that's like. So I appreciate what you're telling me, because it helps me understand where you're coming from a little bit.
So we're being honest?
Absolutely.
You know, the first thing popped in my mind?
What's that, sir?
How I can get your head to bounce off that thing back there. And I'm being honest. Why does people have thoughts like that?
He's trying to scare us. He wants to be the big bad guy here, and he wants to try to establish some point of dominance. I'm sure it was a test to see what our reaction was going to be, but we're just going to continue on with the interview and pretend like that part never happened.
I mean, why can't I have good thoughts? I mean, why can't I have good thoughts? There ain't no good thoughts. They're all evil.
I think if you dig real deep, you can find those good thoughts.
I've been digging for years.
You might have to dig real deep, but I mean, there's people out there that love you.
We've talked to tons of your friends.
Your friends all believe in you. I mean, they were like shocked that any of this could have ever happened with you. I mean, they really, this blows them away.
It still blows me away. I just want to crawl up in that hole and just die. That's all I want to tell you. I just want to crawl up in that hole and die. I deserve to die. I deserve to die.
You need to feel better about yourself, and the only way you're ever going to do that is to tell what happened. And all three of us know that you're a smart enough guy that you know exactly what happened. Is this something easy to talk about? Absolutely not. We all know it's extremely tough and difficult. I'm trying to make him feel like we believe he's a good person. He's got to be comfortable with us. He's got to think that we like him. If we like him, he's going to like us. And if you like somebody, you're more apt to tell them things that you don't want to tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe. I'm a lazy dude.
I would be scared. Mike would be scared if something like this happened.
How many days ago was this?
Sam, do you remember anything about the Russells? Being at their house last week?
No, I ain't been at the Russells in a long time. Actually, me and Deb was just talking about it. I need to get out there and talk to them.
You know, we've got a million theories, Sam. When it comes to the Russells, we know that the Russells liked you, and if you guys had a connection there. We've been told you would even be a nice enough guy and would go out and sometimes help the Russells around the farm, okay? Lo and behold, we find you in the car. And there's a lot that happened in between there. A lot.
We needed to find out if the Russells were deceased, so the pressure builds.
We knew he was holding back information. He knew what happened to the Russells, what he had done to them. He's just a coward, just a monster of a person.
How'd you end up with the car, Sam? I mean, the keys to their car is in your pocket. Your fingerprints are all over that car.
I just went there and stole the car.
And I believe that they more than likely went with you without a struggle, because that house is immaculate.
And were either Mr. and Mrs. Russell ever sitting beside you in that vehicle?
Do you deny the fact that you took Mr. and Mrs. Russell's car?
No, I got the car.
Sam, yes or no, did you kill the Russells?
No.
Sam, remember, the very first thing that you told us when we sit down was, I deserve to die for what I've done. That tells us you know what you did. What's left for you is to get it off your chest. Help you feel a little bit better. Give closure to those families. You love the Russells. We know you like the Russells. They helped you. You helped them. You did work for them. The only reason why these things happen is because you got scared.
And it's so hard for you to talk about, Dan, I think, because you're a good person and this is truly eating you up.
You've wanted to do the right thing all along.
Well, why ain't I?
The right thing is not always the easiest thing to do. That's what's holding back. Sam's withholding a lot of information, so we decided that we would focus on the relationship between Sam and Deb, and hopefully that would help Sam go ahead and open up and tell us what had happened.
Deb, she needs closure. You know, not only did she lose her daughter, but she lost the love of her life. She doesn't know why. I don't think I'd be wrong to say, Sam, that you can't be with Deb for 18 years and not love her. But I think you can certainly tell us what happened. I think you remember just like it was yesterday.
It all started with Tiffany. And that's something you can't forget either. Can you tell me what happened with Tiffany that day?
Walked in.
Did you ask Tiffany to come down the basement with you? Or did she come downstairs on her own?
Remember arguing. After that, it was bad. Right, I tried to.
You gonna get sick?
Yeah.
Need some more water too, or?
Complete.
You alright, man? Yeah, it is. You want me to leave the door open?
Mayor. Ain't like I can run anywhere.
I've never had a suspect get physically ill during an interview before. He doesn't want to relive that event. He just doesn't want to talk about those things because it makes him physically ill. Everything about him is telling us that he just wants to give up. We needed to push him to keep talking.
Okay. You said something really bad happened to Tiffany, but we don't know exactly what. So I guess why does that bother you that something bad happened to her if you don't know what happened?
I know something happened to her. I'm having dreams.
What kind of dreams are you having?
Bad dreams. Bad dreams.
And that's why you want to die. That's guilt. You close your eyes and you see it. That's not somebody who enjoyed doing what you did. That's guilt.
The only reason you feel guilty is because you do care. You do care about what Deb thinks. And you know she deserves to know what happened.
Can we agree on that?
She was my wife. I couldn't do nothing without her.
So the only thing left is just to tell what happened.
You get me back in the state of Ohio and I'll tell you everything.
Be honest with me. I get you back in the States. Am I going to be able to find the Russells? And they're together?
I can't remember that.
But you'll be able to remember when I get you back in Ohio.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you. I don't know.
You're saying the only thing we have to go on are the words that you tell us. And when you say stuff to us like, get me back to Ohio and I'll tell you everything, we believe you, we trust you. And then when we try to talk about it here, then you say you don't remember. So how, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand y'all too completely. I mean, y'all being right down center of the line, ain't beating around the bush. I'm telling you right now, man, it's just ain't letting me do nothing right now. Just driving. I ended up places that I can't remember. I just remember getting chased where I went to truck stops. God, I want to remember. Man, my head is full. It's split.
And the sooner that you tell us,
The sooner this is all over.
You got the theory. Help me out.
He's starting to close down. We needed to go in a different direction.
It ain't going to get no better.
Sam's father contacted us and asked if he could speak to Sam. And we felt like we were at a point where maybe his dad had some insight or influence on Sam that would help us to locate the Russells.
Your dad was in here today, and he's got faith in you. When it comes to doing the right thing, he reassured Scott and I that
you would do the right thing.
Scott and I made a promise that we're going to keep to your father. He wants to see you and tell you he loves you. We're a man of our word. We're going to let that happen if you want it to.
Yeah, this is down to my headache.
It's up to you, man.
You just brought a gun and just blew me away right here. Do everybody a world of favors.
I don't think that's going to happen. You tell me what you want to do.
Bring them in together.
Are you sure?
I ain't for sure about a lot of things right now.
We spoke to Sam's father before to let him know what we were trying to do. He was there to get Sam to tell us exactly what happened. But we were taking a gamble on Sam's father coming into the room and assisting us in the investigation.
Mr. Littleton, you can sit there.
It would be very easy for a family member just to let Sam know, hey, don't say another word, and I'll get an attorney for you. But we had decided that it would be a missed opportunity to get some more information out of him, so we may as well go ahead and do this.
Is it okay if I tell your dad what you've told us so far? Sam's told us that something bad happened to the elderly couple. He's not able to tell us what happened, but he knows that they were alive when he was first with them, right? And then Sam says not exactly the details about what happened with Tiffany, but is able to tell us that something bad happened there at the house. We don't know if he's intentionally not telling us, or whether, it's truly something that he's blocking out right now.
Sam, I love you. You was doing so good.
I know.
You done bought you a home. You done bought you a truck. You had your motorcycle.
I was telling everybody a long time ago that I wasn't right in the head. Ain't no excuse. From far, Can't take back what I've done.
What'd you do? What have you done?
I don't know.
What made you do this?
I've always had these thoughts. Now, if I come to you and told you about these thoughts, what's the first thing you're going to think of? This motherfucker's psycho, and he's locked up.
No. If you'd have come to me, I'd took you to a doctor somewhere. Somehow, I'd have got you to a doctor. We'd have found out something about getting you some help. You need help.
What kind of help are you going to give somebody like that? Come on, Dad, have you ever had a thought of that? I'm your own best bud. Have you ever had a thought like that in your mind? Then why would I? I'd be setting to work, grinding, and wanting to hurt somebody. Why? That's not my nature. You didn't grow me up to be that way. I didn't mean to bring this all on you. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I was scared to come to your daddy with it. Years ago, boy.
I'm just tired. Just tired.
You doing all right, Sam?
I don't mean to bring this on you, but this is probably going to be the last time I get to see you, so.
I know it.
And these guys probably went out of their way just to have you come in here, so. I don't mean to do the cussing and all that. I don't.
Sam, these 2 years been nice to me this morning. While you was at the hospital, they come out here and they talked to me like I was a human being.
Same way, I'm a criminal, and these two guys sit down and talk to me like I was a man. They didn't treat me no different. They treated me with respect, and they have been ever since.
Having the father in the room there may have been a turning point. Sam was talking with us more freely. It seemed like he wanted to tell his dad, but he didn't know how to tell his dad. We just felt like he was going to tell if we pushed him at this point.
And like we said, the only way that we can end it real quick is for you to be able to tell us everything. You tell us one time, it's out there, it's done, and you don't tell anybody ever again. I mean, that's the quickest way.
And you pinpoint where they got after what highways was you on?
I thought it was 75, so I don't know, Dad. I mean, that's the only road I know. It's a straight shot. You know what I'm saying?
Tell us where those people are.
I mean, I want to. I just don't know.
is a bad person. I tried to tell you that the other day. I'm sorry, Dad. I know. You know, absolutely.
Sam, are you okay with that?
I love you.
Pretty sore, Sam.
Mommy and I love you.
Having his dad in the room really helped the situation. Sam basically admits to his dad that he did it. He doesn't come out and say that, but he never tells his dad he didn't do it. That was big.
He's making sure he's all right. He's got bad back, bad legs. We'll make sure that he's okay.
Now we're at a point where he's already decided, my dad knows this bad thing has happened. He's just about ready now. If the opportunity is given to him, he's going to speak about committing the crimes.
Like I said, both of us stay outside with each other. You know that we know. You know that we believe that you're trying to help us, okay? So that's why we're working with you on it.
I'm going to be as direct as I can possibly be. Regarding Tiffany, how did you kill her? You know what happened. It's just way, way too hard to say it.
I just hope you can find in your heart to do the right thing here. Tell us what happened.
You got strangled.
Okay. Any other type of weapon that you have used?
You might have stabbed her once or twice.
Now, where she was placed, that obviously was so she wouldn't be easily found. Is that a fair statement?
I can't remember where she was at. I was strangled. I ain't for sure.
And then did you stab them afterwards too? Just like Tiffany?
I think I might have done it.
Can you tell us if it was after you left the house or whether it was still there at the house?
I think it was at the house.
After you had killed them, were they in the trunk? Or did you put them in any other part of the car?
They was in the trunk.
We finally got his confession that he killed them. I think he was tired and he was ready to just admit to what he had done. At this point, the only thing we don't know is exactly where the Russells are located.
Sam, is there any way we can recover their bodies?
Railroad tracks and cotton field.
Railroad tracks and cotton field. Do you think one body is by the railroad tracks and one by the cotton field? Or do you think?
Yeah. All I know is I didn't get on 75 very far.
All right, man.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam's information about the location of their bodies was vague, and he couldn't ever tell us what exit he'd gotten off, what road they were on. He would only say near a cotton field and near railroad tracks.
Outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee, local law enforcement were able to find the remains of Dick Russell.
Tonight we're hearing from the mother of a man declared missing in Myrtle Beach.
This is not like our son. He would not just disappear without a trace. He just wouldn't.
Oh my God.
Not knowing where her son is or if he's okay, she's living a mother's worst nightmare.
I'm worried that he is hurt. It's the not knowing. It's the nightmare in all this. I'm worried that someone is hurting. I just beg the public to keep us in your prayers because, God is the only one.
Many agree to be in interrogated anyway. But they can stop the interview at any moment.
Christopher Bowling's mother contacted the Myrtle Beach Police Department because even though he was 25 years old, Chris was the sort of person who got in touch with his mother fairly frequently, but he didn't make any contact for 5 or 6 days. He stopped showing up at work. It got to the point where several people were concerned.
Chris's mom, she was just extremely emotional and convinced that something bad had happened to Chris.
Shortly after police received the phone call, they checked local hospitals. No hits on the hospitals. They went to his apartment, knocked several times. No answer at the apartment. They had no leads. It's like he had just vanished.
Marissa shared with us that Chris was from Tennessee, but moved to Myrtle Beach because his son, who was 2 at the time, lived in Myrtle Beach, and he wanted to be closer to his son. She told us that on July 28th, Chris was supposed to have their son, and that she had not heard from him. She said that was very out of character and unlike him, that he was always reliable when it would come to meeting with his son. And she was extremely worried about Chris. There was no activity after the late evening of the 27th. We still weren't sure if there was some kind of foul play, but we all felt that something bad had happened to Chris.
Chris was my best friend. He would even tell people, I'm a mama's boy, you know. He had a big heart. He loved his sisters. With the youngest one, when she was born, Chris called her his baby, and he was very protective of her. He was so special and so gifted. He became passionate in rapping, the age 14, 15, somewhere around in there. I mean, to hear him spit those lyrics out like he did, it's unreal. Chris had ambition, perseverance. As he got older, he was wanting to be a producer. He would make beats for other kids out there that wanted to go into that type of music. When he went missing, I felt like I'm in a nightmare and I'm never going to wake up. I keep looking at my phone, hoping that he would text or call. I was praying that Chris was alive.
July 27th is not only the last day Christopher Sky Bowling was officially seen in Myrtle Beach, but it's also the last day Kelly Simmerly says she heard from her son.
We want answers. We want to know where our son is.
We are speaking with Tyler Panzarella. How long have you known Chris?
Not too long.
He advised that he did not know Chris very well, that he had met Chris through a mutual friend.
And so his son and stuff was here, so he was asking me, he's like, hey, I want to come down to Myrtle Beach and everything. Could you help me out and let me stay with you? I'll pay you rent or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no problem.
And then Tyler told us that Chris decided to come down here with his 2 friends from back home as well, Bailey and Nick. Once they arrived, Bailey and Nick also asked, hey, can we also stay with you for some time? And he agreed, yes, they all could stay there temporarily.
Last time I heard from him, I think it was like 26, 27, I believe it was. And then he just kept talking about like this girl he was talking about and going to like North Carolina with her.
Who's the girl, do you know?
I have no idea. I don't know the specific name. And then like didn't answer my phone calls or nothing, anything, nothing at all.
Do you have Bailey and Nick's numbers?
Yeah.
Tyler said that after Chris went missing, Nick and Bailey had moved back to Tennessee.
Tyler didn't seem nervous, but the information he was sharing that Chris would all of a sudden run off with a girl as much as he cared about his son, it didn't make sense. There was a gut feeling that things weren't adding up and that something was wrong.
Nick Henry said that he had not spoken to Chris since the end of July and that he had basically left Myrtle Beach to be with a girl. Again, it was just more of the same story that just didn't make any sense to us. Something just wasn't right.
Detectives delved into his Snapchat, found a couple posts that he had made the day that he went missing. He had posted a full-body selfie where you could see what he was wearing. The shoes he was wearing were some blue Jordans.
We learned that Chris was actually making plans to stay in Myrtle Beach. He was in the process of getting his own apartment. He had posted on social media on the 27th showing that apartment complex. That contradicted what we had learned from Tyler and Nick as far as him leaving town with a girl.
The search warrant.
The cadaver dog that was brought in actually alerted inside the apartment. Between the living room and the master bedroom, that was a location that Chris was known to sleep at.
And when the dog got to the area, it positively alerted for human remains.
Speaking to the people that, are in charge of those dogs, they said it could have been something as simple as some kind of trace evidence or something being carried from clothing or from the shoes and that kind of stuff to the apartment. So at that point, we are transitioning from this missing persons case to now we're having direct evidence of a homicide occurring. You understand those rights.
Then after we get his statement on video, we would start questioning the inconsistencies and make it more of an interrogation.
What day was the last time you saw Chris?
27.
So what was the circumstance surrounding that? Like,
It was his night. He said he was leaving, and Nick was like, oh, he's just coming back there.
so I mean, like, you guys inside when he's like packing up his stuff? Like, what's
I was leaving. I went to go to my friend Devin's house.
Anybody else go with you guys?
Yeah, Nick and Bailey went with me.
Did you guys hang around till you saw him leave, or you guys just dropped him off? Now he's locked himself into the story. Then that's when we decided to transition to the interrogation, asking direct questions and being able to verify whether he's being caught in a lie.
I knew he was talking to Nick about it. I didn't talk to him at all. We're all grown men, so we all do our own thing.
Originally we were kind of helping the missing persons division, okay? At this point, I mean, we think that something happened to Chris. And we're obviously talking to you because you're one of the last people that saw him, okay? This is the important part, okay, for you to basically be 100% truthful and just listen to me for a second, okay? To tell us everything because we think something happened here, possibly an accident, okay? And we think you know something about it. We've been in investigations for a long time. The Myrtle Beach Police Department has not solved an investigation like this since 2000. Okay, 20 years. So, what do you think?
What I was saying, that's 100% truthful. You know what I mean? I haven't seen him since then.
I'll tell you right now, when we came into the search warrant, we had a cadaver dog come. The dog alerted to possible deceased person in your apartment.
That doesn't make sense. Where did he alert? Is it just like in general? Just like...
What I'm trying to do, I mean, I'm not playing games with you. If you're,
I'm not either.
I know.
I
know. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to give you every opportunity to basically tell us anything additional you may have. We need to know now, because later on, when we put the puzzle together, which we're going to do, we're not going to have this conversation. Does that make sense?
You could tell Tyler was getting a little nervous.
It's at that point he realizes that his story's falling apart. So he has an option, and the option is to change his story or tell the truth.
I don't know specific dates. I was drinking that night. Like, it was just like little arguments, like over stupid stuff.
Have you ever had a weapon?
It was a 9mm, but it went missing whenever Nick he went to Tennessee.
Do you think that Nick or Bailey would be capable of doing something to Chris?
I'm gonna say Bailey. I mean, just from like the way Nick talks and carries himself, like maybe. Nick scares me. Okay, if I would be really honest, like truth, like this one, like it freaks me out, and so like he like said weird stuff about, or basically like that he might have done something. And that just scares me out of me. But I've never been around that. Like, you know what I mean?
What did he tell you?
What was the road? What's that old haunted road? Like a Lucas Bay Road?
I never heard this story.
It's like apparently a haunted road back there. He was saying he went there and like did something, whatever. Like said he killed somebody. But like, and then that's when my gun went missing. But I don't know who it was because it's scary.
Well, hearing that story,
yeah.
Do you think it could be Chris?
I mean, now, yeah. Honestly.
As Tyler is recounting that part of the story, I felt that he was telling partial truths, but we were trying to just not show any reaction, just keep him talking.
If you're scared of Nick or Bailey or someone else, or, you know, the best thing you do if you want to help yourself out is tell the truth. So, did you see Chris dead at any point? Okay. Can you tell us what happened?
They just told me to go there. I think they were just gonna go do some like haunted stuff or like by that road or whatever. So like we went there, and then he had my gun or whatever, and then just like just shot.
Nick shot Chris. How many times did you shoot him? Where? Then what happened?
Just shaking, scared. I don't know if he's gonna shoot me or what. I don't know. Like this is like a scary.
I completely understand.
When he's talking about shaking and freaking out, he's showing no emotion at all. To me, his demeanor seemed like he's being dishonest, but we were extremely concerned with finding out where Chris was. So we didn't want to press too much.
So you're out there on Lucas Road. Who's with you? You?
Nick and Bailey.
So the four of you get out of the car, and what happens?
Just walked into the wood. Just shot.
What was the conversation before the gun went off?
They're just all walking.
So how did Nick get the gun? I mean, he just took it out of your car, or who got the gun when you guys got out of the car?
Because I was walking, and because he told me to bring it or whatever, so I was like, okay. And then he was like, hey, let me see it. I was like, what? He's like, I just want to shoot it or whatever. So I was like, okay. And then I handed it to him.
like?
So 6 feet, give or take, arm extended, or
Yeah.
down. No, you can't. You don't have a figure him.
Yeah, can't. Not literally just like.
I could tell that he was reliving that moment. He appeared to be seeing Chris. He didn't see me standing there, and you could just see the blank look in his eyes. It seemed like he was the one that shot Chris, and he was trying to shift the focus to Nick.
He seemed to be giving us all the facts of the case, just downplaying his involvement at that point.
So did Nick say anything right after he shot him?
No, he just was quiet, and then he was like, take this.
So he gave you back the gun?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I just
So
grabbed
then-
it and went to the car.
He's telling us that Nick shoots somebody with his gun, with Tyler's gun, and then gives the gun back to him. At this point, you'd be able to point the gun at Nick if you want to. You'd be able to say, I'm leaving, I'm getting in my car, I'm not taking you with me, I'm going to the police. Just doesn't make sense.
So where's his body now? Like Lucas Road somewhere?
Yeah.
You think you can get close to the spot?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably build it. He's
That moment, Tyler was the lead in the homicide investigation. At that point, we did not have any physical evidence, and we did not have a body, so we charged him with obstruction of justice for impeding and hindering our missing person investigation.
He's just gonna pat you down now. You got a handcuff key on your thing? Yeah. You just want to get him out and take the shackles off. Swing your feet around, man. We're going to take these leg shackles off real fast.
The entire time, he didn't put off an air of being scared. He was just cold and emotionless.
To the right, a little bit of that. It's kind of like saying that you're 1, 2 o'clock. I think this is about the spot then. You want to check it out?
For me, in that moment, the lack of emotion just solidified that he was the one that shot Chris.
Be careful where you're stepping up. There's crime scenes.
Remember what shoes he was wearing that night?
It's like blue Jordans.
Blue and white?
From where I'm standing, I can see shoes that appear to be the same shoes that Chris was wearing in the Snapchat from the night before he went missing. For me, that was probably one of the biggest moments of the case, because at that point you know that it's more than likely going to be Chris.
I remember telling my husband, he's gone. He's gone. I didn't want to believe it. I would have died for him. He was my world.
So you're actually allowed to lie in interviews. You just got to be careful as far as, you know, what you're lying about.
Talk to the guys in Tennessee. They're saying, some boys there are saying this.
Sergeant Lent tells them that he just talked to Nick and Bailey and that they are saying that Tyler is the shooter. What he is saying is a lie.
We had not spoken to Nick or Bailey. We wanted to see if he changed his story or what his reaction was.
They saying that you planned this, you drove him out there, you had the gun, y'all walked out there, you gave the gun, you shot him.
No, I never had a problem with Chris, nothing, ever. I'm not like that, man. I came from a good family. I promise you, man. Like I would never do that to someone, ever.
They say you did it.
No. I'm telling you, I'm a good person. I would never in my entire life, ever.
You saying you was a good guy? Why didn't you call 911 whenever you left there? You just left him out there to die.
Because I was scared, man. I didn't know what to do.
This is your chance. I mean, did you do it? Did you kill him?
No. I'm being 100% honest on everything. No. I told you everything that happened. No.
So was it an accident? You shoot him by accident?
I never
or you just a monster and just say, hey, we're going to take you into the woods and blow your head off.
Nick had the gun. He's been like he scares me. He's been scaring me ever since that's the type of person he is.
So for a normal person, if you are scared and you just saw somebody murder somebody, are you going to, one, take that gun back? And if you're truly nervous, now you have the only weapon. So at that point, why not remove yourself from the situation? But he's doing everything that Nick tells him to do, even when Nick no longer has a gun, which was kind of strange.
I know I should have told you guys. I've never been around that. I've never been in that situation. You're surrounded by someone every day. You're going to get on each other's nerves.
All right, Tyler, sit tight, buddy. We'll be right back together. All right, Tyler. Sergeant Lee, this is my sergeant, okay?
Sergeant Lent is more assertive, more direct.
I've been sitting in another room listening to you, listening to everything you say. And all these guys have told me everything that's been going on the last 3 or 4 weeks, or whenever the hell this started. All right? You're how old? What do you plan on doing with your life?
Be the best person I can be.
Really? Where do you want to be that best person? Let me tell you right now, you're fixing to go to prison. Guess what's going to get done to Tyler? You're going from here, you're going to get charged with murder. You're going to be charged with killing Chris. Do you understand that? Look at me. Don't sit there and give me these crocodile tears. Tyler, don't sit here and bull me. Tyler, you've played the game in here long enough. You're involved in some that you would have never, ever been done if you were a good person. Because you don't go out to Lucas Bay Lights and bring a gun into the woods at night if you ain't got something planned. So be honest. This story, to be able to tell this story, shouldn't take you any more than 5 minutes, from beginning to end.
So that's what you think. You think I'm just that type of person. And I don't know where.
Yeah, I think you're the kind of person that takes a friend out into the middle of the woods.
No representation is what.
From your own words. You took your gun out of the glove box. You can smile. You're
smiling right now.
You're smirking.
I'm not
You
smirking.
took your gun out of the damn glove box. You handed it to you say you handed it to another kid, who then shot your buddy. And then you all let's just go back in the car and go back to my apartment. It takes you a month to come forward and say,
I didn't know what to do.
No! You didn't know what to do, but you're a good person. But good people, you know what they don't do? They don't leave a kid to lay out in the woods to get eaten by animals. That's what you did. You got him. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You better call.
It may appear that he lost his patience and left the room, but that's by plan. Lent, quote-unquote bad cop, and Detective DeWitt being the good cop, that was pretty much our strategy at that point. After Lent's no longer in the room, hopefully Tyler is now going to open up to the other detective that's in that room. Because he's being nice and reasonable, I want to talk to him.
Is there anything else you could think of, anything whatsoever?
You know what happened, you know the story, you know where the body is, and stuff like that. Made a mistake. I should have came to you guys sooner, and I didn't know what to do. I had no idea. But now I gotta live with that. There's really nothing I can do to get away from this work. Mistake. Gotta pay for it.
He never came out and said he was the one who did it. But the interrogation of Tyler was critical because he put himself there. He was the only one who owned a gun. His story, it didn't make sense. It didn't all match up. What is important to consider in this case is that Nick and Bailey are from Tennessee. Meanwhile, Tyler is from around here. If any of them would be familiar with a local ghost story that is urban legend around here, it would certainly have been Tyler. Now, it was extremely important for the officers to talk to Nick and to talk to Bailey, for them to establish everything that happened during that shooting.
Hey.
Try to relax. Okay, we're just gonna have a conversation, all right?
He was like very thrown off his game because he was obviously seeing us from Myrtle Beach and Horry County. I'm sure that heightened his senses and the fact where it's like he knows why we're there.
I'm not going to jail.
Like I said, let's just have a conversation and we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get to it, okay? All right, Nick, so keep it real with you, okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're from South Carolina. I work for Horry County. He was from Myrtle Beach. We've been working on the case for quite some time, okay? And we have reason to believe that you were involved in that case, okay? So we're going to go back to the night of July 27, 2020.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to say anything.
Why? Take some deep breaths, man.
He told me, he was like, if you ever tell anybody, I'm going to give you baby grandpa. Please. Oh, I didn't have my grandpa. Please. Make sure you can't do nothing. Wait. He has my house key.
Take some deep breaths, man.
So please.
You just drink some water.
He was so emotional that he couldn't control himself.
It was important to try to settle him, make him feel comfortable and relaxed. There are times where you need to be softer and coax the information that you are trying to learn.
Boil it 4 days into your side of the story. And we'll have a conversation. That's all we're going to do today, okay? Tell me what happened.
Okay, I was good.
Yeah, what?
Please don't tell him I told you.
So, Kyle's in jail. So he's not threatening your family. Okay, that's what we're looking for from you.
Okay, so we're in the car and we're driving. Who was there? Baby, Sky,
Whenever you say Sky, who's Sky? What's his real name?
Chris. I guess Sky said something about his nephew or something like that and started making fun of him, and Tyler just looked at him like that was the last straw. I haven't really got along.
What else can you tell me?
We're just driving, and I didn't know where the hell we were going. And Tyler just taking us on some old dirt road, and he's talking about some haunted forest or haunted something, and everybody was just freaked out, and we started walking, and he made sure he was behind me, and we all got somewhere wherever he wanted us to go to. We told him that it was a big spot, and they just took it. I was terrified. I didn't know if I was going to die too, but yeah, I've never seen anything like that before, and I didn't know what to do.
So you didn't touch the body at all?
No, I promise I didn't. I swear to God. I was scared. He just popped him in front of me.
One of the differences in the interview with Nick as opposed to the interview with Tyler, Nick was very upset and showing fear, a lot of emotion. He just seems to be saying what he's feeling and exactly what he's trying to convey.
He's actually scared of the whole situation compared to like where Tyler's very composed.
So why would he say you shot? Tyler said I shot him? Because Tyler shot him. Like, listen, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all that God's honest truth. I did not do it. He did it.
When you see someone get extremely emotional in the face of an allegation of a crime, moving around and waving around, usually they're being honest because they're worried and upset that you're going to believe false information. But with Nick, we thought to push him a little further and see if his emotions changed, if his demeanor changed, and if anything in his story changed.
And I have the proof that it was his gun. It was the first day I met him, and he showed me. It was not me. I swear to God.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, you tell me what it is. What is that? Show you a better picture. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. See that? Y'all did that. See that? Look at that. Who's that right there? Who's this right here? Look at it! See it? Who did that? What are we gonna tell his kids, man? Huh? Who is that right there? Look at it.
That's God, but I didn't do it. I swear to God I didn't do it. I did not want none of that to happen to him. I swear to God. I swear to God on everything. I promise. I swear to God. Like, I'm the one who took him down there to see his kid.
And now he's dead.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault, bro.
Even under that extreme pressure, you know, he's still saying he didn't do it.
Not my fault.
He's still naming Tyler the person that did it. So you're seeing him actually get frustrated, getting angry about the situation because he's being blamed in his mind for something that he didn't do.
Talk with the plan with Tyler.
No, Tyler.
Agreed to the plan that Tyler had for this whole situation.
No. Neither did Bailey.
What percent of responsibility do you think Tyler has for this? What happened? 0 to 100. 0 being the least, 100 being the worst.
Like 100. He's the one who.
Well, that's good. Bailey, what percentage do you think he is for this?
None. 0.
0%.
Yeah.
And what percent do you think you are related to this?
I couldn't say anything. I couldn't.
Percentage-wise, do you think you have no responsibility for what happened?
I mean, I couldn't help it. So like maybe like 2 or something, but I can't just stop that. Cause he was gonna do that to me too. Like, please, it wasn't me. I swear to God, it wasn't me.
Watching Nick, I think that his emotions were real in that aspect. Everything he said and the way he was reacting, I really believe that he was scared of Tyler at that point.
What made it believable was the fact that Nick was not just scared for himself. He was scared for his grandfather and for his family. He seemed to get more emotional talking about that.
All right, this is a voluntary statement. Everything you just told us, you were writing on paper.
Big time.
It's very important because Bailey hasn't had a finger point at him yet. So we wanted to really talk to Bailey because we figured that he'd be the most independent person. Is he going to say that it was Nick? Is he going to say that it was Tyler?
So here's the deal, Bailey. We ultimately know what happened to Chris. We know you were there. What we're looking for right now is to see how cooperative you're going to be with us. Because we don't need you getting in trouble just because your friends put you in a bad situation. Because nobody said you did anything, but you were there. What I need to know is, did Tyler shoot him? Or did Nick shoot him? Who shot him? Who pulled out his gun? Tyler. Tyler pulled out his gun. He shoots who? Chris. How many shots?
This one.
Okay. Made any direct threats to you?
I mean, he told me if something happened, he'd know.
Some other people we've spoken to said Nick shot him.